Ay. Hmm. Share. Recommends. May nakita kayong nakashare?
Yes po, Ma'am Marie Chris. Good evening, everyone.
Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening. Chine-check ko lang kung maliit ba masyado.
Puwedeng
Okay, wait lang. Lalakihan ko lang siya, ha?
ayun, sige. Hindi ko mabasa, sorry.
No worries. Ina-adjust ko lang. Ah, bakit gano'n?
Mababasa mo siya kapag yung mga tao sa
Eh,
side, i-wider mo yung screen mo, tapos yung mga tao, isang line lang sa side. So makikita mo siya ng maayos.
How about that, Ana? Nakikita mo ba? Not really.
Ang lapit na kaya niyan, Chris? Ang lapit na, ako pag tumitingin ako, ang lapit na sa akin.
Malapit na sa'yo?
Yeah, goods na siya, okay na siya.
Okay na siya. Basable na. Nire-read mo na
Yeah.
basable.
Oo,
Basta
readable na. May kanya tayong English sa Tagalog eh.
basta ball.
Hindi na readable. It's basable. Basable. Okay. It's almost time. And I think 7 o'clock, Anna will lead the prayer, or meron pa kayong announcement kaya si Chris before we will start?
I think wala na.
Ang konti pa lang, 29. Wait ka a little.
Okay,
Marami ka ng
mga 5
audience.
minutes. Wala lang audience kasi nagre-review na sila ng pang-tax.
Mag-pray na lang
Wow,
ng
ganun sila
7.
kaseryoso.
Ganun sila kaseryoso sa tax. So tayo na lang naiiwan dito.
Sana all.
Yun pala yan. Pray na lang 7, then wait tayo 5 minutes before mag-start. Basta ball.
So basable na, ha? Are you sure, ha?
Pwede naman natin siya i-zoom sa part sa side natin.
Kasi ako double screen. So, kasi para makita ko rin yung yung
Yung
sinishare
mga
ko.
audience.
Yes, tsaka makita ko rin yung audience. Kailangan ko makita yung chat. Sabi gano'n
Kasi
sa
para
chat.
Kelly,
Concern
paano?
pala sa chat.
Sorry, Kelly, paano ma-zoom on our end? Kunyari sa akin, paano ko i-zoom sa part
ano po
ko?
gamit nyo, po, Ma'am Ana?
Laptop.
Sa akin kasi 2 fingers tapos parang ibubuka mo siya. Nazo-zoom na.
Ganon? Try ko.
Try
Uy,
mo
oo
po.
nga, ang galing mo. Nagawa ko. 2 fingers. Naloka
Advance yung laptop niyo kung gano'n.
Naloka ako
Laptop ko
sa'yo,
hindi advance
Kelly.
eh.
Kasi sorry, hindi ko talaga mabasa, Chris. May sira yung mata ko. Kanina. Ngayon, okay na siya.
Yun lang pala yung technique.
Thank you, Kelly. Ngayon ko lang nalaman.
You're welcome. Golden. Ay, Golden Jessica daw. Congratulations, ikaw nanalo sa Americas. AGT. Hello po, Ma'am Jessica. Good
Ano
evening.
yan? Grabe ha. Pinagtitripan nyo na naman ako, Arnold.
Ang cute din kasi ng hair color mo, Miss Jessica. Kaya, ano,
Fan ako ni
it's okay.
K-pop Hunter.
Nahapan ka ba ni Hunter?
Oo, si K-pop Hunter.
Ganun.
Sa Netflix.
Search ko nga yun. Hindi ko kilala.
Ganda naman.
Si Mira
Anime.
yan, Mira.
40 na.
Ilan na ba tayo? 14 na. Okay, I think Miss Anna, you can lead the prayer now.
Okay. Let's put ourselves in the presence of God. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Heavenly Father, we come before you with grateful hearts as we begin this study session. We ask for your guidance and clarity of mind, that you may open our understanding and help us absorb and retain the knowledge we seek. Grant us focus, patience, and perseverance to navigate through challenges, and inspire us to use what we learn for the greater good. Lord, bless our efforts and the time we dedicate together, and may your wisdom lead our discussions and reflections. Help us support one another with kindness and encouragement, so that this study time may be fruitful and bring us closer to our goals. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Hey, good evening, everyone. Just to clarify that last night we have a bit of confusion. So I hope that you still follow on tonight's session. Our topic today is what is a reconciliation. It should be the first before the reconciling of accounts. But since we already did that yesterday, so this is just a kind of a summary of what we did yesterday. And so are all good to start now? Okay. Miss Anna will read the QBO or to present for presentations. Okay. As we begin.
Okay. Again, good evening, everyone. We are from Team Shawnee or Ma'am Asuncion Espiritu for our second day of QBO session. You may have reconciled without even being aware of it. Have you ever looked at your credit card statement and been surprised by the balance? What did you do then? Did you go line by line to double check for suspicious charges or errors? If so, then you already have experience with reconciling. For accuracy and reliability, reconcile your client's accounts regularly. Reconciliation is one of the most important services a bookkeeper can provide. Let's dig in and gain an understanding about the process of reconciling accounts.
Okay. Let's skip the glossary. If you have if you want to know more of the glossary, and then feel free to do so, but we do not open this one by one.
Why reconcile? What is reconciliation? Reconciliation is a quality assurance process to ensure that financial records are correct and balanced. During reconciliation, Bookkeepers compare the business's records to bank statements and other source documents to ensure that everything is accurate and up to date. The goal is to make sure the source documents match everything you've recorded in the books. Let's review some key terms related to reconciliation. Question number 1. So, ay ka na, Miss Chris? Question.
Okay. Question number 1, the original records that prove that a specific transaction took place. So what will be your best answer on this?
Course.
So the records that prove, it means you have proof. So source documents. Okay, continue. The ledger balance as of a certain date. So what's the balance of that date? So, okay, book balance. And then compare two sets of records, and at the end of an accounting period, verify that account balances are correct, identify discrepancies, and make adjustments to the accounts as required in order to record the correct values in the books. So this is account reconciliations because this is compare two sets of records. I hope so. Okay. Great work. Okay. Miss Anna.
Benefits of reconciliation. Ensure accurate books for tax filing. Realistic view of the business's financial state. Identify and fix recording errors. Fourth, investigate possible fraud. Fifth, manage accounts receivable, accounts payable. And the sixth would be track cash flow.
So, in short, this is the benefits of reconciliations. When you reconcile your accounts, you can have all this in your books. Okay.
No.
Note that note that reconciliation won't stop fraud, but it will allow you to find the discrepancies in finances. So you know if fraud has happened. Fraud can occur from external sources such as vendors or from internal sources, just like business partners or employees. Okay, now let's check. What are some of the benefits of reconciliations? So let's apply. So, stop fraud. Is this a benefit? See the business as it really is. Is this a benefit?
Yes.
This is okay. Track cash flow.
Yes.
This is also a benefit. Ensure that employee pay on her part in the industry standard. This is no. Okay. Find discrepancies. Okay,
Yes.
this is a yes. Get a review of the competitors and their trends.
No.
No. Stay on top of the accounts receivable.
Yes.
No. Accounts receivable is just it's part of reconciliations, but it's not a benefit. So no. Okay. That's right. Reconciliation allows you to see the state of the business, track cash flow, and find discrepancies, which can alert you to fraud. Okay. The process for a reconciliation. So we already have this discussed this process yesterday. Okay, Miss Anna.
You are assisting a client with reconciling their records. Let's go through the reconciliation process together.
Okay. What do you do first? So what will we do? For to process the reconciliations. Ask for the most recent bank and credit card statements. Or B, check your records for a list of all transactions this client has performed. Or C, contact the client's accountant for guidance. So most of the answer is A. You have to ask for a recent bank and credit card statement. So let's check. Okay. The first step is to process it as a gather the necessary source of documents. So like the bank statement. Okay, Miss Anna.
Gather source documents. Number 1, verify the source documents you have gathered are the most up-to-date and include all needed information, such as transactions, beginning balance, and ending balance. Number 2, enter all known transactions up to the reconciliation date. Compare the transactions listed in the source documents to the books. Number 1, compare starting and ending account balances and individual transactions. Go line by line to match the books to the search source documents. Number 2, look for discrepancies, inconsistencies between the books and the source documents. Make
And
and
adjustments.
kindly pa-adjust, please. Ayan. Make any adjustments needed and mark the reconciliation as complete. Number 1, research unreconciled items and delete or correct inaccurate transactions. Number 2, if you cannot find an error, and if the amount is less than the threshold set by your client or their accountant, you can make the adjustment to the reconciliation adjustment account. If it is greater than the threshold set by your client or their accountant, you need to keep searching until you find it.
Okay.
Remember, at the end of the accounting period, once you have completed your reconciliation, close the books to end the financial period and prevent further changes.
Okay. In the following video, learn from another bookkeeper why reconciliation is important. So let's hear. May audio po sa inyo?
Reconciliation
Yes.
is critical, and here's why. We can enter any transaction into a financial software as a journal entry. I mean, technically, we can enter whatever we want. However, if it doesn't clear the bank or clear a credit card or clear a loan statement, it didn't happen. So the point of reconciliation is to tie the transactions that have been coded into the books to an outside document that verifies the transaction happened, such as a monthly bank statement. We want the two separate records to verify each other. Most bookkeepers are responsible for reconciling cash accounts like checking, savings, and money markets. Also, we reconcile credit cards when those statements come through. We would post all credit card transactions and then double check that the balance at the end of each statement matches what the credit card statement says. Basically, for anything that you receive a statement for, you should reconcile it. There are some things that you will probably reconcile every month. For example, it's typical for bookkeepers to reconcile a loan with an amortization schedule. However, there may be other sorts of accounts on the balance sheet that can be reconciled that you are actually not responsible for. Things like stock trades or other investments. These are things that your client's accountant might be just adjusting at the end of the year.
Okay, now let's check. Which is not a step in the reconciling process? A, create journal entries to make balance match source documents. B, gather source documents. C, compare. I think this is part of the steps. Compare accounts and other transactions. Make any adjustments that make adjustment needed. It's also a correct one. Close the accounting period. So the best answer would be A, which is not the step in reconciling process. So let's submit. Okay, that's right. The reconciliation process consists of 4 steps: gather source documents, compare accounts or transactions, make any adjustments needed, and complete the reconciliation and close the accounting period. Okay, types of reconciliation. Okay, Ms. Anna.
Several kinds of reconciliation. Let's look at the 2 most common types of reconciliation.
Reconciliations come in a variety of types. Today, we're going to look at two of the more common types of reconciliation: reconciling bank accounts and reconciling invoices. First up, reconciling bank accounts. This is a crucial step for businesses to ensure their financial records match the bank's records accurately. Just like with personal accounts, businesses receive a bank statement every month that lists all of the deposits, withdrawals, and checks that were written against the business's bank account. As a bookkeeper, you'll check the starting and ending balances and match every individual transaction against the entries listed in the business's books, deposit slips, and canceled checks. If you find any discrepancies, such as missing transactions or incorrect amounts, you'll need to investigate further. It's essential to trace the error back to its source and correct it in the records. Once all discrepancies are resolved and the records match the bank statement accurately, you can consider the bank account reconciled. It provides assurance that the financial records are up to date and reliable. Now, let's shift the focus to reconciling invoices. This process ensures that the invoices issued by a business match the corresponding payments received. It helps maintain accurate accounts receivable and tracks outstanding balances. Sometimes businesses sell items or services on credit and send out invoices to be paid by a certain date. As a bookkeeper, you'll track those invoices, but in this case, there is no external entity, such as a bank, that is sending a statement that you can reconcile against. So instead, you'll run an accounts receivable report. This is a report of all open invoices that have not yet been paid. Then you'll check the closing balances to make sure they match your records. Look through those open bills with your client and verify that they are still truly not paid. During the reconciliation process, you should also identify any discrepancies, such as overpayments, underpayments, or duplicate payments. These discrepancies need to be addressed promptly to maintain accurate financial records. This allows the business owner to decide if they want to follow up on any open invoices for payment. Reconciling bank accounts and invoices are critical for businesses to maintain accurate financial records. By comparing records and resolving discrepancies, businesses can ensure their financial data is reliable and up to date.
Okay, now let's check. What is one difference between reconciling invoices and reconciling bank accounts? A, you do not need to look for discrepancies when reconciling invoices. B, the reconciliation process is the same for invoices and bank accounts. Or C, with bank accounts, you reconcile against a statement. With invoices, you reconcile against an accounts receivable report. So most of the common answer is C. Let's submit. All right, that's right. Invoices don't reconcile against a statement, but rather against an accounts receivable report that you create. Miss Anna?
Reconciliation, level of detail. Reconciliations can be either summary level or transactional level, depending on the amount of detail. Learn more about each of these. Under summary level, you'll compare the closing balance of accounts and verify that balances are correct and balanced. Reconciling at the summary level is an overview. You look at the starting and ending balances for the month to ensure that the accounts are reporting accurately. This method is not used for every account, but it simplifies complex tasks when there are a lot of transactions to review. An example where this method might be employed would be for reconciling aggregated payroll expenses in a large business. If the accounts are not balanced, you would need to dig into the books to determine what the issue is. At the transactional level, you compare the books line by line to another source document to ensure that every transaction syncs up and is accounted for. Bookkeepers track financial transactions, so transactional reconciliation is the method that you'll mostly likely deal with as a new bookkeeper. Let's take a deeper look at a transactional level reconciliation in the following video.
Transactional level reconciliation involves verifying individual financial transactions to ensure their accuracy and completeness. Transactional level reconciliation is crucial for maintaining reliable financial records and identifying any errors or inconsistencies at a granular level. It helps businesses track and validate the flow of funds and ensure that all transactions are recorded correctly. To begin the transactional level reconciliation process, you will gather all relevant transactional data, such as invoices, receipts, purchase orders, and bank statements. These documents serve as the source of truth for your records. As you review each transaction, compare the details across source transactional documents. Ensure that the transaction dates, amounts, descriptions, and other relevant information match consistently. In cases where the transactional data is stored in electronic systems, you can leverage technology to automate the reconciliation process. This helps streamline the verification and identification of discrepancies. While reconciling at the transactional level, pay attention to any duplicate entries, missing transactions, or incorrect amounts. These discrepancies can impact the accuracy of financial records and need to be addressed promptly. Once you've identified discrepancies, investigate their root causes and take corrective actions. This might involve reaching out to relevant stakeholders, such as customers, vendors, or internal departments, to rectify any errors or omissions. It's essential to ensure that all reconciled transactions are properly documented and supported by the relevant evidence, such as receipts or invoices. This documentation helps maintain an audit trail and provides a clear record of the reconciliation process. By conducting transactional level reconciliation regularly, businesses can strengthen their internal controls, mitigate risks, and ensure the accuracy of their financial reporting. It also facilitates compliance with regulatory requirements and builds trust with stakeholders.
Note, because you're looking at every transaction, transactional reconciliation is a very detailed process and can be time-consuming. Make sure to manage your source documents well and set aside enough time to go through them all. Otherwise, it can lead to delays in producing financial statements at the end of a reporting period. So, when do you reconcile? There are a number of times that a bookkeeper should reconcile. Bookkeepers continuously reconcile accounts throughout the year, including during the monthly close, quarterly reporting, and annual filing. Let's learn about this in the following video.
Throughout the year, there are many times when a bookkeeper will reconcile accounts. Perpetually, every day when you verify online banking information or whenever you input information, log transactions, or make a change, take a second look to make sure you entered all transactions correctly. Any bank or credit card account that has a monthly statement should be reconciled monthly. During monthly reconciliation, compare your books against any statements you received and make sure you correctly entered all transactions for the previous accounting period. Then compare the entries in different sections of the accounting software by printing reports, such as accounts receivable and accounts payable reports, and ensure that everything matches up accurately. Examples of monthly reconciled accounts are credit card and checking accounts. Some accounts, like income tax, are reconciled and reported or filed on a quarterly or annual basis. In large businesses, some accounts are only estimated at month's end, and then the full reconciliation process happens quarterly or annually. That is when all of those estimates are reconciled to ensure all financials are correct. Knowing when to reconcile is just as important as knowing what to reconcile.
Okay, now let's check. How often should you reconcile? Select all that apply. Perpetually or forever, monthly, and quarterly or annually. So as the state in the video earlier, that we have to know when to reconcile and what to reconcile for each of the period. All right. All these are correct. Reconcile perpetually as you enter transactions monthly for those type of accounts, credit cards, checking account, etc., and quarterly or annually taxes as needed.
Okay. When in doubt, go to the source. Let's review source documents. Source documents are the original records that prove that a specific transaction took place. As a bookkeeper, you compare and validate the books against two main types of source documents. Number one, external. Statements from an outside source, like bank or credit card statements. Number two is the internal. Samples are sales receipts, invoices, inventory counts, or other reports that are printed from the books or accounting software. The common external source documents. Business checking statements and deposit slips. Compare the transactions in the bank statement to the business's internal records and ensure that they match. This involves reviewing bank statements, deposit slips, and canceled checks to verify the accuracy of the records. Credit card statements. Compare the receipts with the credit card statements issued by the financial institution. Make sure the billed amount in the statement matches the actual payments. If any errors are found, report them to the credit card company for correction. Inventory counts. Compare the physical count of goods a business holds in its inventory with the corresponding record valuation in the balance sheet. The process often involves printing an inventory list, conducting a physical count, and reconciling against the physical count. This process ensures that the financial statements accurately reflect the actual inventory levels and values. Invoices for sales or services rendered by the business. Compare the outstanding balances with the accounts receivable recorded in the books. Ensure that the amounts entered in the general ledger match the outstanding amounts. This process helps identify any errors, discrepancies, or fraudulent activities related to customer accounts. Compare vendor statements or invoices to the accounts payable recorded in the books. Verify that the amounts charged by the vendors for goods or services received are accurate and match the amounts recorded in the books. This process helps identify any discrepancies or errors in vendor invoices and ensures the accuracy of the accounts payable records. Purchase orders. Compare purchase orders to the balance sheet. Ensure that the descriptions, quantities, and prices are accurately entered. This process helps identify any discrepancies or errors in the records and ensures the accuracy of the balance sheet. Cash. Compare the physical amount of cash in the safe or petty cash drawer to the recorded amount in the books. This ensures that the actual cash matches the expected cash balance, helping to identify any discrepancies or errors.
Okay, now let's check. Which are examples of external source documents? Select all that apply. Okay, bank statement, invoices, external. We are talking of external. Accounts payable, checking account statement. I think this is
Yes.
an external. Sales receipt or credit card statement.
Yes.
Okay, everybody answers ADF. ADF. Okay, let's submit. Okay, that's right. External source documents are those that come from an outside entity like bank, checking, and credit card statements. Source documents. Okay, Miss Anna?
Source documents, required information. Let's review what type of information must be included in a source document.
So this is an invoice. As you can see, there is a vendor. To, meaning to the company, and then there's an invoice date, due date, this item description, and also the amount. So, and the balance.
You click
Okay.
for the plus sign, my description.
Yeah. Okay, this is the name, the reference number, which is the there should be an invoice number here. They can only see the invoice date, the due date. And then the transaction details, just the date, the description, and the due in here. And also have the summary totals. Okay. If any of this information is missing, the document is inadequate for reconciliation. Let's practice or classifying source documents. Example 1, a bank statement. Sky, the owner of ski shop, has brought you his latest bank statement. You look at it over for key information to make sure that it's valid source documents. What items need to be present for it to be classified as source documents? Select all that apply. So the name, account number, is it ABD? Tax ID, I think that's not needed. Transaction details and date. This is very much important. The description, the amount, and the date. So everybody answers ABD. So let's submit. Okay. A source document contains the names of business or individuals involved in the transaction, some kind of reference number, bank account, or a customer number and transaction details. Example 2, an invoice from the vendor account along with the bank statement. Sky also provides you with an invoice from one of the vendors. You notice that the invoice consists of a logo, contact information, payment terms, details of the transaction this month, and a signature. Use the invoice that allows and answer the next question. Okay, this invoice, I think it's almost same what we have shown earlier. So there's is a vendor and to the company that is also an invoice date, due date, the description, and also the amount. Okay, question. What item is missing to make it as a valid source document? A, name of the business involved. I think nakita natin yung name kanina. Some sort of reference number. Transaction details. Transaction details also has. Business address. I can also see the business address. I think some reference number. As we go back here, we cannot see what invoice number is this. So there's a missing of a reference number. Let's try to submit, and everybody, this is B. Okay, in order to be classified as a source document, the invoice needs to have an identifying reference number, not just the names and transaction details. Okay, sana.
Kindly pababa ng konti. Meron pang...
Pababa.
Ayan.
Okay.
Timing of source documents. Some source documents, like bank statements, are generated on a regular basis and summarize multiple transactions. Others, like sales receipts, come in one at a time and need to be captured and organized. Loan amortization schedules. Setting the scene. Your client took out a loan to buy a new truck for the business. Loans have an amortization schedule where the interest and principal fluctuate every month. An amortization schedule shows that payment 1 is $662 principal and $188 interest. Payment 2 is slightly different from payment 1. Payment 3 is slightly different from payments 1 and 2, and so forth.
Yes. Diba? When you have the amortization schedule, from the bank, they will give you a monthly amortization, but the principals and interest will differ on the monthly payment. Okay. Which document should you refer to make sure that the monthly interest and principal are correct? A, balance sheet, B, amortization schedule or loan statement, or C, accounts payable. So everybody answers B, amortization schedule. This is the schedule from the bank. Okay, submit. All right, great job. You need to refer to the amortization schedule and or a loan statement versus source document month to make sure that interest and principal are correct every month. Okay, next, Sana.
Remember, without the source document, the loan balance might be off because you're recording principal and no interest. So you won't have an accurate loan balance on the balance sheet. Other source documents. Here are some examples of other source documents and where they fit on the balance sheet.
So if we will open this one, okay, source documents like this, if cash and accounts receivable and depreciation, accounts payable, credit card, payroll liabilities, and equity. So now let's check. What type of source documents is required for owner's equity? So meron ba? Meron ba dito? Bank statement, certificate of deposit, purchase agreement. Everybody answers B. Okay, B. That's right. Owner's equity is usually discussed with the owner, not reconciled via source documents. Okay, next. Managing source documents. Okay, Sana.
Managing source documents. It's important in your bookkeeping practice to have a system for sharing and storing source documents, whether those are bank statements, receipts, amortization, schedules, or even a purchase contract for a new vehicle. Keeping track of source documents is critical. Learn tips for managing source documents effectively. The following video.
As a bookkeeper, you deal with numerous source documents such as invoices, receipts, bank statements, and expense reports. Efficiently managing these documents is crucial for accurate record keeping, timely financial reporting, and ensuring compliance with tax regulations. Disorganized or misplaced documents can lead to errors, wasted time searching for information, and missed opportunities. That's why implementing a systematic approach to source document management is essential. Source documents are typically delivered monthly, quarterly, or annually, but they don't all arrive at the same time. A bank statement may arrive on the 1st of the month and a credit card statement on the 20th. The first step is to establish a document management system that works for you. Consider using a combination of physical and digital tools to maintain a well-organized and easily accessible repository of source documents. You should establish a system to capture, record, and organize source documents all month long, rather than waiting for reconciliation to gather them all. Whenever possible, leverage digital tools like cloud-based document management software. These platforms allow you to scan and store documents electronically, ensuring easy retrieval and secure backups. Generally speaking, photocopies of source documents are acceptable as long as they are legible and contain all the information provided in the original. Don't just digitize new documents, prioritize digitization of existing source documents too. Once you have your document management system in place, the next step is to sort and categorize your source documents. This step helps you quickly locate and identify relevant documents during the bookkeeping process. Assign specific categories or tags to each document based on their nature or purpose. For example, you may create categories like sales invoices, vendor bills, bank statements, or travel expenses. Digital document management software often provides options to tag or label documents digitally, making it even easier to sort and filter them based on different criteria. Learning how to manage source documents effectively will make your role as a bookkeeper much easier.
Okay. Gathering source documents. There are a number of ways you can gather source documents from your clients. The most effective is to ask for the source documents to be provided digitally. There are several ways your client can provide you with the files. Through an app, you can have your client use a document collector, mobile or web-based app, to capture and store digital versions of source documents. Okay. Via email, you can have your client email you source documents or upload them to a cloud-based shared file location. And you can have your client upload source documents or receipts directly to the accounting software.
Yeah, like for example, in Zero, my clients always directly upload the documents to Zero, and then I just check it on the files, and I can also make a bill out of from there, from the files going to the bills. So that's how advanced our technology nowadays. Okay.
Despite all the technology available to business owners these days, there are some clients who will come to you with a shoebox of receipts. It's not recommended, but it still happens. Whenever possible, you should digitize these source documents. Scan these source documents in an app or software and then attach them to the correct journal entries. The consequences of missing documentation. Not having the right source documents can lead to some serious consequences, such as, number one, there's no way to reconcile discrepancies on the balance sheet, so your books will be inaccurate. Number two, there's no backup documents for the IRS. Number three, there's no backup documents for the financial activities that are recorded in the books. And number four, there's no proof for IRS in case of an audit.
Okay, now let's check. What are some reasons for digitizing source documents? Select all that applies. Is it A? It provides a backup to the paper documents. I think this is correct. Client wants to use the latest and the greatest technology. And C, it's easier to attach a source documents directly to a transaction in the accounting software. Or letter D, it's required by IRS. Is it required by IRS? So most of the answers is A and C. Let's submit. That's right. Digitizing source documents provides the ability to attach source documents directly to the transaction in the accounting software and provides a digital backup in case the original paper documents get lost or are destroyed. Okay. Bill of sales receipts.
Setting the scene. Your client took a customer out to lunch to strike a deal and get a contract. The client wants you to record the cost of the lunch to the books so the meal can be deducted as a business expense. The client left the receipt on the counter at home and said, just enter it without the receipt.
Okay. What do you say? Select all that apply. Is it the IRS is going to want a receipt for the meal and all of the expenses? B, it's okay. I don't need the receipts. Just tell me what the lunch was about. And C, please take a picture of the receipts and send it to me with a note about the purpose of the meeting and who was in attendance. And this is very correct. So most of you get an answer A and C. So let's submit. Okay, great job. For tax and reconciliation purposes, you need a copy of the receipt that includes information about the purpose of the meeting and who was there. Okay, Ms. Anna?
As the bookkeeper, you would then file and store that receipt. If the business is using accounting software, you can attach the photo of the receipt to the actual credit card transaction in the system. Important, if the receipt is lost or missing, the bookkeeper has no record of the transaction to refer to during reconciliation, and the business would not be able to provide proof of that transaction to the IRS at tax time. Source documents best practices. Regularly viewing and reconciling your source documents is crucial for accurate bookkeeping. Set aside dedicated time to go through each document, ensuring they align with your financial records. Check for any discrepancies, missing information, or inconsistencies between the documents and your accounting software or spreadsheets. This review process allows you to catch errors early on and address them promptly. Let's review some best practices for handling source documents in the video that follows.
When it comes to managing source documents, there are some best practices that every bookkeeper should follow. First, record the information from the source document in the appropriate accounting journal as soon as possible. Then, file that source document according to the filing practices you've established. Establish a document control system so needed items are easier to track down. Here are some ideas. Set a naming convention for all digitized files. Renumber your documents before filing them. Some clients might take a picture of a receipt and send it to you. The file name could be a set of random letters and numbers, and adding that to your files as is will make it difficult to retrieve later. Therefore, it's important to renumber your documents and use those as your reference. Maintain an access list and chain of custody system. Follow a mandate for how long source documents must be kept. Most businesses have document retention policies that dictate how long certain records need to be preserved. Not having or not being able to find source documents when you need them can lead to a lot of headaches. So follow these best practices to make it easier to find and access the files you need when you need them.
Three tips for source document management. Once you've recorded the transactions, let's look at the best practices for good source document management. Digitize the file. Take a photo or scan the file, then give it a number and a descriptive file name. Store it. Store the file in a place you can find it again when you need it. Keep it. Keep it for the required amount of time. Processing source documents. It's the end of the month and Fatima, the owner of a candle store, has just dropped off her bank statement. You previously gathered source documents from the candle store and recorded the business sales transactions from bank deposit slips and invoices, and business expense transactions from the checking account register. receipts, bills, and vendor invoices.
Okay. As Fatima's bookkeeper, what is your next step? A. Keep the bank statement for the required time. B. Store the bank statement away where you can find it. C. Scan the source documents and give them a number and descriptive file name and store them properly. Store them properly for easy retrieval. And D. Start processing the bank statement. So most of the answer is C. Let's check. Okay, that's correct. The first step is to scan the source documents, give them a number and a descriptive file name, and store them properly for easy retrieval.
Remember, there are guidelines for how long you need to retain certain types of files. In addition, the business may have their own standards in place. Make sure you are following all rules regarding document storage.
Okay, put your learnings into practice.
Let's look at a scenario. Marian, the owner of a small bookstore, wants to know what she spent on her credit card last month. She brought in her credit card statement for the month of May with a statement date of May 25.
What other information would you reference to determine her spending over the past month? It's A, accounts payable report, accounts receivable report, accumulated depreciation report, or credit card register. So most of you answered D. Let's submit. Okay, good job. The credit card register will show any transactions that might have occurred after the credit card statement date, but still within the month in question.
Numbers don't match up. When reviewing Marianne's books, you notice that some numbers are off. You dig deeper into her credit card statement and see two charges on the same day of $103.94 from an office supply store, and only one of these is listed on the general ledger.
Okay. What is your next step? A, find the sales receipts to see if there were, in fact, these two charges. Or B, assume these two charges are valid and add the second charge to the books. Or C, notify the business owner to call the credit card company to rectify the issue. So most of the answer is A. Okay. Good job. The first thing to do first is the sales receipts to see if this is a valid charges. If you find out that it isn't, only then should you to notify the business owner to call the credit card company. So dito pumapasok yung mga dispute. Pag sinasabi nila na hindi natin transactions yan.
Remember, reconciliation can be a lengthy process, but helps you find discrepancies in finances, which is vital to keeping records organized and accurate.
Okay, we're almost done. Natapos ko pala ito. Let's try again.
Try again.
Okay, show what you know. Let's try. Okay. Stan is in the process of performing month-end close-out for his client business. He noticed that the checking account indicates a difference of 25 from the bank statement. Which of the following strategies can be used to reconcile the books? Select that apply. A, perform line-by-line review of transactions comparing the general ledger and the bank statement. Somehow true. Tell his client to withdraw 25 from bank that will balance out the books. Okay, C, check for any unclear checks. Letter D, check any services fee for the banks may have charged. Like for example, when you have a statement at the end of the month, there are interest and bank charges that is showing in your bank statement that's coming from the bank. So, and do nothing 25 in the incidental unless than the amount required to report. So most of you answer A, C, D. So let's check. Oh, correct. Stan should go line by line to match up the transactions in the general ledger with the bank statement and check for uncleared checks and service fees. Okay, next. Which of the following is not a valid source document? A work order or activity statement with no ending balance. Ikis na kaagad, no? Invoices, C, credit memos, or D, bank statement. So most of you answers A. Okay, that's correct. A work order activity statement with no ending balance is not a valid source of documents as it is missing key criteria. Okay, number 3. Which of the following best describes the transactional method of reconciliation? A, the method of comparing the amount listed in the source documents to the actual ending balance listed in the balance sheet. B, the method of comparing present changes in the data period over the period. B, I see the method of determining the amount that can be written off for an asset over time. Or D, the method of reviewing existing transactions and source documents to confirm the amount was spent. So most of you answered D. So let's submit. Correct. It is the method of reviewing existing transactions and source documents to confirm the amounts was spent. 4. Which of the following is not a result of reconciliation process? A, ensure all transactions are accounted for. B, ensure any fraudulent activities are more easily detected. Or C, ensure the business is profitable. Or D, ensure account balance are accurate. So most of you answer C. Let's submit. Correct. Reconciliation can help with a lot of things, but it cannot ensure that the business will be profitable. Next, the original records that prove the specific transactions occur are called source records, source documents, official records, official documents. It should be, most of you answered the source documents. So let's submit. Okay, the original records that proves the specific transactions occurred are called source documents. Okay. Good job, everybody. Conclusion, you are one step closer of being a bookkeeper. As a bookkeeper, one of the most important services you provide is that of the reconciliation. This involves the comparing source documents such as receipts or invoices with the records in the general ledger or accounting software. To ensure effective reconciliations, it's essential to have a system in place for collecting and organizing the source documents. Mastering the skill of reconciliations allow you to maintain accurate and organized financial records for your clients. Okay, submit. So we are done with the module, and wait, I'll have to stop sharing first. Okay. Because we are Ma'am Shawnee, are you here? Kasi si Miss Shawnee ang
Yes, the demo.
magde-demo. Kasi because she has an existing US client. So para mayroon tayong overview of how the actual reconciliations look like and how to do it on the actual. So take over, Ms. Shawnee, and thank you so much for your help tonight.
Where is my screen? Have you seen my screen? Do you see my screen?
Yes po.
Yes po.
Yes po, Royal Bank of America.
Yes. Ay, wait. Wait lang ha. Okay. Sige, dito na lang. Sige. I prepared this statement, demo bank statement for confidentiality. Hindi ko ma-share yung aking bank statement ng client. So I prepared two statements, January 2025 and February 2025. I will not discuss in details kasi siguro naman nakakita na kayo ng bank statements.
Yes po.
So this is January 25 and February 2025. And it is still on PDF files. So before we upload these transactions to QuickBooks, we need to convert these to CSV files. Not Excel, but only PDF, CSV files. Otherwise, QBO will not capture the transactions. So, in uploading the CSV file, I use 3 columns for the CSV files. The first column is the date, the second column is the description, and the third column is the amount. So make sure that the credit or deposit are in positive amount, and the credit and the debit should be in a negative amount. Okay? So I already uploaded this in QBO, but I will teach you how to upload. Oh, where is my QBO? Okay. I will share my QBO. Here. How to share ba the two window. Do you see my QBO?
Yes po,
Yes
nakikita.
po.
Okay,
Yes
okay.
po.
Okay. I already uploaded these transactions, and I will teach you how to upload this. So, I will go to bank transactions. So, Royal Bank of America. I already uploaded. I will just teach you how to upload. So, in the upper right corner of the dashboard, there you can see link account, but the account is not yet linked. So, we choose upload from files. And then select files. So, we will select 1st January. Okay? And then we click continue. And then we select the bank. What is that? Royal Bank of America. And then continue. We click yes, one column, and we will choose the date. It's either month, date, or year, or date, month, or year. So, sample, we choose month, date, and year. So, we continue. So, there is the January transactions. Then we click all and then continue. This will automatically uploaded in QBO. So, back. So, this is already okay. So wait. Ano natin to? Categorize. Bank fees. Okay. Make sure that before you reconcile, the for review is 0. And it is already in the categorize tab. Let us check. For the month of January, there are 4 transactions. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and February, there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, let us start the reconciliation. From the transaction menu on the left side, you can see reconcile. And then, the January transactions show that the opening the opening balance is 0. The client started to started the business maybe in January, so he started in the business on January, so the opening balance is 0. So we choose the bank, Royal Bank of America, and then as the statement showed, the beginning balance is 0 and the ending balance is 1048.50. Hindi ko kasi ma-share. Paano ba i-share yung the statement and the bank and the QBO?
Share entire screen.
Share entire screen po, then split.
Share entire screen po.
Kasi dito, teka. Share.
Ano ka muna, stop share.
Stop share.
Tapos
And
pinut
then,
nyo ulit yung share. Tapos makikita mo sa monitor mo, share entire screen. Yun yung i-click mo. Tapos mamimili ka na
share
kung
so,
alin dun sa...
okay,
Ayan
okay.
pa. Okay.
Okay, and nasan ba yung isa pa? Nasan yung QBO ko? Hindi ko na makita. Wait lang ha. Ito siguro. Ito ba? Hindi yata to. Wait. Ito. Okay. So, 2. Kasi isa lang ano ko.
Pag entire screen, lahat na po yun.
Ha?
Pag entire screen, lahat na. I think that's upper left. Makikita mo lahat ng
Presenter layout. Advance. Ang dito. Wala si Cherry kasi. O side by side siguro. Baka?
Side by side pwede yun.
Okay, side by
Pag entire
side.
screen. Yeah.
Ay, pero isa lang yung nakiklik ko.
Isa lang ba?
Mm-mm.
Sige po. Tingnan natin.
Ang hirap talaga ng hindi tayo techie, ano, Mami
Wala
Sean?
kasi si
Ako rin
Cherry.
ganyan
Wala
eh.
si Cherry.
Correct.
Relate. I
Okay.
share the
Also,
sentiment.
So,
Side by side. Sa'yo pala yung
oo.
Sa'yo yung
So,
Hindi siya side by side, ma'am.
I will tell you na lang the beginning balance. So, for
Ah,
January, the beginning balance is 0, right? And the ending balance, the total deposit is 1,950. The total checks and debits are 90150. So there is a closing balance as of January 31 to 2025 of 1,048.50. So for the reconciliation, we put the ending balance, so the beginning balance 0. So we put the ending balance of 1,048
Mami Sean, excuse
Yes.
po. Ano mo kaya, i-full screen mo yung QBO mo kasi nakikishare ka eh, nandiyan ka rin sa gitna. Lumiliit mo yung QBO.
Okay. Stop sharing ka, ma'am, tapos reshare ka ulit. Wag
Stop
yung side
sharing.
by side. Tapos reshare ka yung QBO na lang.
Okay, siguro nga.
Opo.
Kaya,
Opo.
So, yung QBO na lang. Okay. Sorry, hindi ako tech. Okay. Kita nyo na?
Ikaw lang,
Okay.
diyan ka pa rin ako.
Ganun pa rin.
Ay,
Side
diyan
by
ka pa rin,
side.
Mami Shawnee. Nag-side by side ka pa
Naka-side by
din.
side. Tanggalin mo po yung side by side, ma'am.
Okay nga. Content only. Di ba?
Yes
Kasi
po.
content only and then 0. Ay, yung QBO. Okay na?
Ayun, very good.
Okay.
Yes pa.
Okay. So, the ending balance is 1,048, 1,048.50. So, ang statement, ending date is January 31. Yan. So, wait, hindi ko start reconciling. So, our beginning balance is 0. The ending balance is 1048.50. And, wait, i-minimize ko na lang to. Oy, hindi natin nakuha yung 150 na kanina. Hindi ko na ano yun. Wait lang. Ay, nag-double. Sorry. Pagka ganyang may error, i-unclick natin yung isa. Yan, okay? So, okay na. The 150, 1950 yung deposit. So, this means that we already reconciled with the book and the PVO and the bank. So, we click finish and then done. Okay? So, for the month of February, so our beginning balance is 104,850 and the ending balance is 4,4091.90. Ay, 4 pala, 4. 4091 and the date is February 28. So, there. So, start again the reconciling. So, it is also reconciled as of this February 28. So, beginning balance is 104,850. The ending balance is 109,190. And the payments is 6,001.67. And the deposit is 9,045.07. So, let us check to the bank register. So, for January 31, so here, January, this is the beginning of February, 1,004,882, and the balance ng January 31. And the balance for February is 1,090.90. Kulang yata to. Kulang na isa. Wait, let us check. Bakit mali?
40.
Balikan natin. Dapat kasi ay 0.91. Okay, sorry. Baka merong hindi na pasama. Pero reconcile naman siya, di ba?
Yes po. 0 na yun eh.
Oo, reconcile siya. O, 0 naman eh. Okay.
50.
4091.90. Tama siya, tama. Okay, so
4091.
let us check the report, the general ledger. General ledger. Ano yung bank? Royal Bank. Ay, let's check pala the date. January 1 to February 28 report. So, ayan, saan na tayo? Hanapin natin. No, nasaan yung bank? Nawawala.
Yun.
Bakit?
Ito.
Ito. Royal Bank. Also, for February 31, 4,048.50. And for February 28, 4,090.40. So, reconcile siya sa GL at saka sa bank register. Okay? So, what if, let's say, what if mm, ano, so, finish now, February, okay, done. Okay, what if uh, instead of 4091.90 this will gawin nating February 25. February 25. Reconcile. Oh, bakit ganun pa rin? Wait. Palitan natin. Hmm. 4091.90. Gawin nating February 21. Alimbawa nagkamali kayo ng date. February 21. Instead na 28, nagawa nyo siyang 21. So, start. Bakit reconcile pa rin siya? Dapat kasi hindi siya reconcile. Then, pag hindi siya reconcile, iaan mo siya dito sa edit. Tapos, dito mo siya papalitan ng date. Gagawin mo siyang 28. Hindi natin, dapat siya ay February
Try mo February 10.
Oo, yan. Iko-correct mo siya. Magiging ano na rin siya. Magre-reconcile na siya. Pero dito ayaw lumabas. Okay? Yon. So, ano pa? How to fix errors? Alam niyo na yata yun how to fix errors. Ito pa, kaya lang hindi, ibang window yung isi-share ko ha. This one should be reviewed and prepare alongside with the bank reconciliation at the end of each month. So, I will change my window. Wait lang ha.
Pwede ka po mag-stop share, ma'am, and then reshare ka na lang po.
Okay, kahit nahanap ko yung aking isang QBO.
Mhm.
At ito ang aking isi-share. May nag-raise ng hands. Si Ana. Lisa. Pakiano mo nga.
May question lang po kasi ako, TL Shoni.
Oo.
Di ba pag-add mo kasi nung bank statements na napasok na siya sa QBO, then tapos diretso ka na kaagad reconcile, ganun po. Minsan kasi may
Hindi. Sinabi ko kanina, in-upload ko na siya and then kinategorize, di pumasok na siya sa QBO, no? Kinategorize ko na siya kasi para tayo makita nyo, kasi diretso na tayo sa reconciliation.
I
Dapat, di ba sabi ko,
I
dapat
see.
yung for review, dapat zero yun, zero. At dapat naandun na siya lahat sa categorize.
Sorry po, kasi yung nakita ko po kasi minsan doon sa mga nag-share din ng so yun sa reconciliation kasi upon pag-upload mo kasi doon ng CSV pag pumasok na siya sa QBO, kunyari hindi mo pa siya na-reconcile, meron kasing mga lalabas po doon na either i-add or i-match, may ganon. So, paano po ba ang technique doon? Kung i-add mo ba siya or i-match mo siya? Ano ba ang role of rule of thumb?
Kakategorize mo na siya bago i-reconcile.
Oo.
Baka nakategorize na kami.
Last in your
Kakategorize mo muna siya
reconciliation.
kung may matching
Kasi
or
pag
ano.
Oo. Halimbawa, may credit card payment ka. So, yun yung deduction sa bank and addition sa payment sa credit card. Yun ang imamatch mo. Okay? Yun. Then, pagka naman add, halimbawa, naka sa for review ka na, nilagyan mo na siya ng category. So, i-add mo na siya. Add ang i-click mo doon. Nalagyan mo na ng pay, nalagyan mo na siya ng category. O kaya kung halimbawa may class siya, lalagay mo din, i-add mo na, i-click mo na yung add.
Sir Chris, you have something to say po?
Thank you.
Hello, good evening sa lahat.
Good evening po.
I'm not sure if
Good
nakapicture ko
evening.
yung question ni Annalisa earlier. Can you say your question again, Anna? Nag-CR kasi ako, but I thought you had something interesting that you asked. At hindi ko rin na-capture yung answer masyado ni Ma'am Shawnee because I was in the bathroom and then nagtubig ako. Can you say your question again one more time?
Ayun, Tagalog na lang po para mas clear ba?
Sige po, go ahead.
May nakikita kasi ako before na, kunyari, upon pagpasok na ng CSV doon sa QBO, tapos after nun, may magre-reflect siya doon, may isang column malapit sa amount na either mag-a-add ka ba or magma-match. Ang tanong ko is, ano ba ang dapat gawin? I-add mo ba siya or ima-match? Paano ba ang ano niya, ang pinaka technique or pinaka hack? Anong best na gawin doon?
Good
Pag-match
question.
kasi dapat, sige. Kayo na po. Kayo na.
Sige, Ms. Shani, you can chime in after. But if I understood your question correctly, iyon yung nag-upload ka ng bank statements into QBO, correct? And then you go to bank register, and then sa bank register, nakikita mo na ngayon yung fees. Now, the register is asking you whether you will add the transaction or you will match the transaction. And your question is, what's the difference between add and match, correct?
Yes.
Great question. So the answer there is that if match, that means there is a transaction that QBO detects that could potentially match that transaction. So what are those? Example is, kung bank transaction yung in-upload mo, and then meron siyang ka-match na same amount of transaction in a credit card account naman. Right? So for example, you uploaded a credit card statement, and then you uploaded a bank statement at the same time, or in the same instance, right? Now, let's say, for example, in the bank statement, you have there 5,000. And then na-capture ng QBO na that was, di ba may mga description yung transaction? Nakita mo doon sa description, may account number. And then that resembles a credit card account. So because QBO is AI-driven na din siya, right? So it alerts the system that, hey, this could be a potential match towards a credit card payment, right? Because again, you uploaded a credit card statement and a bank statement, let's say for the month of August, right? Now, if you also look at the bank feeds on the credit card, the same amount makikita mo din match, right? Why is it a match? Because the same date or roughly around the same date, yung details ay nagma-match and the amounts are also matching. So you will match, right? The purpose of matching is that, kunyari, inuna mong i-match o i-categorize yung transaction sa bank. The moment you hit match, automatic yung transaction dun sa credit card, nagma-match na din siya. So when you transition later sa credit card, you will not see that same amount anymore kasi na-match mo na siya. You know what I'm saying? So that means that transaction will be a payment, right? It will be a payment from the bank to the credit card. And so when you hit match, the transaction or the underlying journal entry will then be a debit to the credit card account and a debit to the bank account. You get what I'm saying? So it's automatic payment. credit card payment from a bank account. And the reason why I really, that caught my attention when you asked that, Annalisa, is it's another common mistake among bookkeepers. Hindi nagmamatch, right? Hindi nagmamatch. So instead of payment, ang ginagawa, nire-record as add, right? Tapos pag nag-add, magmamanual ka ulit na magmamatch. Or the worst case scenario is that miscategorize yung transaction, right? So when you see that match, be very, very careful before hitting that match or add button. Because kung nagkamali ka dyan, although you can correct that, but the fact that nagkamali ka, that means hindi ka well-oriented with how QBO works. Right? Because that's a quirkiness within the QuickBooks software. Again, that's a quirkiness, meaning it's peculiar to QuickBooks. It's not the same way as in Xero, Wave. They have a different approach. But if you know that, that means you're good at QBO. And that's one thing employers would look into. Pag tinest kayo, alam niyo ba yung concept ng ganito? What are you gonna do? Right? I've seen some posts ng si PA yata din siya na bigla siyang in the interview with a prospect employer, bigla siyang pina-share screen tapos pina-navigate ng QuickBooks. Right? And good thing she was able to do it, maybe because the transaction was also simple, but she was very nervous because she did not know what to do, right? But if you know QuickBooks, you know the quirkiness of QuickBooks, you would know how to approach it, right? And sometimes it's not about what you say and what you think you know, but it's about also the why or the how, right? Because like she knows the accounting because she knows the why, right? But the how is how, again, the quirkiness of QuickBooks, right? So going back to your question, if it's a match, again, make sure that you understand what is a transaction that's being matched. Wait, bakit lagging ako? Give me 1 second. Let me check if my connection is good. Kakarating ko lang kasi. So just give me 1 second. Let me transition. Am I still here? Do you still hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes po.
Yeah, sorry, I had to switch to another connection. Because I feel like I was lagging. Some comments were saying I was lagging. I just came, from the pier. Again, hinatid ko yung mom ko pa uwi ng Bohol. But yeah, Annalisa, if you went back to your question, if my match, when you click on that match, if there are several transactions that could be similar to that, let's say for example, my dalawang 5,000 around the same date, and when you hit match, my dialog box na mag-open that would tell you what are the transactions that could be a match on that transaction in the bank. So you'll have to pick, right? Pag add naman, when you say add, that's equivalent to posting, right? Equivalent to posting into the general ledger, right? Diba, you already know by now the 6 steps of the accounting cycle, right? So when you hit the add button on the bank feeds, that's equivalent to posting the transaction. So nandun pa lang siya sa, kumbaga, nasa labas pa lang siya ng gate, right? The moment you hit the add, nakapasok na yung transaction, it becomes part of the transaction. It affects the balances, right? Kapag nasa bank feeds pa lang siya, wala, hindi pa yan, it does not affect the transaction. You know what I mean? Naka-journal na yan. May underlying journal entry na yan, but it's not yet posted, right? So again, hitting the add button, it's gonna impact now your balances, right? So it's gonna like, kung anong payment yan, let's say for example, that's an expense related to purchase of supplies, right? Yung transaction na yan, again, the underlying transaction already has a debit to supplies, a credit to bank. But it's not yet affecting your balances. So if you go to your bank balance, it's not yet there. But the moment you hit add, automatic mag-impact yung balances mo sa bank, right? So when you hit add and then match, only then can you proceed to bank recon, right? Only then can you proceed to the bank recon. And guys, konti na lang, Ma'am Sean, you can chime in a little after. bank recon is a very interesting thing to discuss because marami din ditong hindi alam. I'm not sure with everybody else, but again, I would go back to the statement na bookkeeping is not just reconciliation. And in fact, meron din minsan na reconcile mo na yung book, akala mo tapos ka na. Wait, there's more. There is more. It's not just bank recon. You have to go back to your chart of accounts or to your general ledger, and you want to make sure that the bank balance is matching with the QuickBooks balance, right? Because I'm not gonna take so much of your time because we only have 30 minutes, and I also have a meeting upcoming at 9. There's more to it, right? There is more to it than just bank recon. As a matter of fact, hindi ko alam yon, right? Hindi ko alam yon because again, the quirkiness of QuickBooks. And you know what? I was working with this company before. I was doing bookkeeping, and yung mga katrabaho ko was from Turkey, right? Because the owner of the company was Turkish. And I don't know, for some reason na napadpad ako dun sa company na yon. And someone was reviewing my work. And then she would always point that out. Now, Chris, when I look at the balance sheet, it's not matching as in the bank statement. And I would say, like, why? Why would that be the case? I did a bank recon. And she showed me how to do it. Imagine someone has to tell me that I was doing that I was doing it wrong, right? Or not necessarily wrong, but I was not doing enough, right? And I'm glad that she had to point that out to me. You know what I mean? Because I never forget after that. Yeah, it made complete sense that you need to do this step before you can say that you've done bank recon, right? And it really impacts also during the year end because again, you will report the bank statement or the financial statement to the to the tax preparer. Dapat nagmamatch yung mga bank accounts. Kasi may ibang mga tax preparer, they ask for the ending balance. Sorry, they ask for the bank statement at the end of the year. Para silang nag-audit, kumbaga ba. May mga OC na tax preparer, you will encounter them in your actual experience. So they would ask for the financial statements, and then they would ask for ending statements. Ending statement ng bank loan, ng mga kung ano-ano pa to support the ending balances ng balance sheet. So, may mga ganun talagang prepare niya. Alam mo yung mga siguro nag-work sa Big Four. Alam mo yung mga meticulous na ganun. And it's good to experience like that kasi natututo ka. But in the interest of time, guys, there's so much more that I would want to share in terms of bookkeeping. But we don't have time, right? Because business tax prep na tayo very, very soon. And tomorrow, based on yung mga nakasali doon sa dito, internship, I think they prefer 9 to 11 the meeting. So starting tomorrow, I'll make a further announcement on that, guys. And then you guys can also join, even if you're not necessarily the intern, because the intern will have actual access to the QBO. But if you want to participate in that, just be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. But just be a member. It's only $499. You will get a lot from it. The reason why we're not doing it publicly is because there's going to be actual information, right? So we want to limit the audience there. And also, that will... I just realized this that, you know, ang dami natin, right? Ang dami natin. And I want to be able to filter it to those people na talagang seryoso, right? Like earlier, last night, buti na lang na padpad ako doon sa review ng EA. Kasi I was just checking, like I was trying to relax my head kasi nasa-stress na ako sa nire-review kong return. Right? Nasa-stress ako doon sa... So, I rested. Tapos, chinek ko lang yung Zoom. May meeting ba sila today? So, sumilip ako kumbaga ba. And then, narinig ko yung usapan nila about the quiz nga. And then, it made me realize, oh nga, no? I selected the best of the best based on the exam. But that counters my own principle, di ba? Ang principle nga natin is that it's not just about the competence, but also the character. And how do I measure character? Character is like the hunger, right? The hunger for knowledge, right? And I realized earlier I checked doon sa members ng YouTube channel. There's already 39 people. And Kelly made a really good suggestion of creating a separate GC for all the members. Kasi minsan, pag nagpo-post ako doon sa channel, hindi niyo agad nakikita because you don't open YouTube very much, right? As compared to doing Messenger. And I feel like doon nakikita ko si Cherry, lagi kong si Marcris, si King. Alam ko nandun si Mark. I just don't know how Mark looks like, but he's there most of the time. Nandun si Ruby, right? So these people are hungry, right? And these are the people that I like, right? I like to mentor kasi feeling ko, ito yung mga tao na empty yung glass nila, right? There's so much to fill in, right? And the good news, guys, is that we're going to be launching internship very, very soon, right? We're going to be launching internship very, very soon. And alam ko yung exam, minsan factor doon yung internet, right? Or minsan like age, for example, si Ma'am Shoni, you would not expect Ma'am Shoni to like be very, very quick in answering.
Yes.
Also Alma,
Yes.
right? Like Alma, but it's so surprising. I see Alma gets into the top 10 sometimes, right? Like grabe si Alma at 61 years old, ang bilis pa magpindot ng phone. Like that surprised me, like that appalls me, right? But one thing sticks to mind is that people who are hungry, they do everything, right? And I can feel that very, very much. I'm receptive towards that. And again, those are the people that I value more than competence. Because again, to me, it's really the character versus the competence. Because competence, I can train you. But character, that's innate, that's in you. Ang hirap niyang i-influence, right? So if I see that you have it in you, my God, I would be very happy to mentor you, right? I know mentoring is just a word. It's just that wala akong maibang word na maisip, right? But it's so, you are the people that I'm looking for because you are just very few steps towards success. You know what I mean? You have it in you. Wala lang kayong experience, wala lang kayong years of, let's say, alam mo yung hinahanap ng mga naghahanap ng mga taxpayer is like the years of experience. Wala pa kayo nun. But if we work closely together, if I give you 100 support, you will get there in such a short period of time. And when you do, I know you will be a massive success, right? And when you succeed, because you have the character, you will look back at board as accountant and see where else you can help. You know what I mean? Because again, I gravitate towards you, you gravitate towards me because we are somehow, hindi tayo the same, but we have something in common. You know what I mean? We have something in common. And that, guys, is something I'm looking for. That's why I don't come to you and say, I offer my course, I ask you for this amount of money to get into my course. I wouldn't ever do that. Like, I'm not comfortable doing that because I want to show value first. And I want to show people, if this is what you want, then go ahead, let's do it together, right? But I don't want you to come to me and put money into me, and then I become like your employee because now I'm compelled to provide you what you paid for. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna do it. I will never do it, right? But what I do is that I test the waters. I test people, right? If you guys are in the same vision as I have, I do things that you do not realize I'm doing because I'm filtering you out. I'm sorry to say the word, right? It sounds bad, right? But again, ang dami natin. I need to find a way to only get those that I feel resonate well with me as well, right? Like right now, I know people that I can name them who were there from the start, who've been very consistent. And if you're there because you participate well, yun yung mga taong nagtumatatak sa isip ko, right? Because you make an impact, like you catch my attention, right? And I'm not saying that I'm the best person in the world, like I'm very, but I also resonate with you. I also gravitate towards you because I see potential in you, right? And so right now I have few people already. And mind you, those people, I will reach out. I would definitely help those people to be successful, right? And why am I saying this is because I feel like still a lot of people are not really sure if this is what they want. I'm still seeing a lot of people who are just lurking, and who are just like, they still don't know what they want, and that's fine. There's a phase in life where we are like that. We're like bamboo ba, no, wherever the wind of the direction of the wind comes, ganun ka din, right? You don't know what you want, so everything is an opportunity for you, or you're sort of doubtful. You are, I don't know what it is that you're going through right now, but we have gone like in YouTube, we are 2,000 people, close to 2,000 people already. In Messenger, or sorry, in Facebook page, we are close to 8,000 as we speak, right? And community, we're close to 5,000. There's already a lot, right? There's already a lot, but I know people there are just like, they just go and hit the follow button. That's it, right? They just go and check on the post, and then that's it. They don't even bother to react. They don't even bother to comment. Those are the people I don't want for my team, right? Those are the people I don't want to work with. I'm sorry for the strong word, right? Because those are people who are hoppers, right? They're looking for opportunity, and they just don't know what they want yet, right? I remember one person very much when I asked him, it's Glenn, right? Glenn was the first hire. Ilang weeks pa lang tayo nagsastart na hire na siya. Why? Because he has it in him, right? When we had a conversation, sabi niya, I cannot forget it. Glenn said, I really want to be a tax preparer. Solid siya doon. I really want to be a tax preparer. And so when he messaged me that he got hired, I was not surprised. I told him, Glenn, I'm not surprised you got hired because you have the hunger in you. Like Mary Chris, for example, she's very, I want to do US, right? Like, I remember these things, right? And Andre, for example, I've been asking Andre, what do you want, Andre? Like, he sees himself doing tax for so many years. These are the people who I remember very, very well, because they will be the people who will have a bite and will not, hindi bibitiw ba? No? Hindi bibitiw because they have it in them. They know what they want, right? And again, we are so many here, and I'm not really for the numbers. I'm more of the quantity, right? Sorry, the quality, right? So why am I sharing this? Is that whenever I post or share something, and only few people do something about it, it's kind of, I would say, people are not getting it, right? People are not getting it, but it's okay, right? But that's okay because I have few people, like nagbi-meeting kagabi, nag-share ako ng tax strategy. King was there, Cherry was there. I know Ruby was there.
Chris,
Mark,
excuse kami kasi hindi kami pwede magpuyat.
okay lang yan. No, hindi ko record
I agree. Relate.
Same.
Kaya may recording tayo. But
Team replay.
Same.
What I'm saying, guys, is that you gotta do something to get noticed, right? You gotta do something to get noticed. Your hunger for this will manifest itself. You know what I mean? Your hunger for this will manifest itself and it will show, right? And if you are not yet sure if you are in the right path, then that's fine, right? I would completely respect that. But if you have it in you, hindi mo lang na show, or you're still doubtful, or you're still, something like that, whatever it is that you're going through, what I'm telling you is that if I don't see hunger in you, then we may not be able to work together. You know what I mean? So it really is that, right? Ang success hindi yan nagmamatter sa kung anong nandito, right? It's also what's in your heart, right? Ang lahat the persistence, the consistency, yung influence mo towards other people, hindi naman galing dito, right? It's coming from what's inside your heart, and that's what other people sees, right? Like the unspoken words, those are not what people would hear, right? Diba? So if you read the books, like yung mga books like The Alchemist, for example, The Little Prince. I don't want to share the message. I would want you to read those books, right? The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, the Little Prince. If you gravitate towards that thought, we are so much the same, right? And right, so ayun lang. Short interruption to answer Annalisa's question. Nag-speech na ako. I'm sorry. So Annalisa, balikan kita. Na-answer ko yung tanong mo about the match and the ad.
Yes, Chris. Ang hindi ko lang pa ma-visualize yung ad. Kailan ka mag-add?
Kung
Yung
kailan ka
match, nagigets ko na yung match.
yung ad,
Thank
usually,
you.
kung ano yung bank feed na nilagay mo, kung nasa bank statement yun, pwede mo na yung i-add. Minsan nga, you just check it all.
Categorize na.
You check it all and then add. Nagmamasa add ka. Right? Kasi, kunyari, before ka nag-upload ng bank statement, empty naman yung bank feeds mo. Right? Empty as in wala. Pagka-upload mo, lahat ng nasa bank statement mo, nandun naman. So, massive add mo na lang para hindi ka na iipa-isa-isa. And then, QuickBooks is also very smart. Add or accept, yung mga transactions kapag similar na transactions and over time, nag-auto categorize siya. Especially kung may nagro-rules ka. So, minsan hindi mo na kailangan i-categorize kasi si QuickBooks na nagka-categorize para sa'yo. All you need to do is add or accept, right? And then you can do the bank recon. But again, this is a topic for separate occasion. There will be more in the bookkeeping class because hindi naman nagtatapos sa certification ng QuickBooks ang bookkeeping, right? There will be more as we go along. Kaya lang, we have to have a temporary end towards bookkeeping because we will transition to tax prep. And then after that, pwede naman tayong bumalik, right? Because again, we will have the 7 to 9 p.m. I don't know, for forever, right? It will be a forever vision na natin to that we meet kung kaya ng schedule, di ba? We meet. Kung hindi, pwede naman mag-team replay lagi, right? But then there will be separate occasion for separate session sa mga interns, right? Because sa internship, kailangan talaga focus, right? So dapat konti lang. And then others would want to see what's going on sa internship. Again, your way to do that now is to be a member on the channel, right? Because we are broadcasting everything that's happening. Minsan nga kahit nagmi-meeting ako, bino-broadcast ko if I feel like the audience can understand. And there was a good thing that happened to the broadcast because si Marcus, I think Juby did as well, and the rest, right? But there were several of you who did the exercise on the work paper for the business. And napili ko lang yung kay Marie Chris because like she presented it, right? And when Marie Chris was presenting it to the team, I was listening. I was not there, Marie Chris, telling you what to do, but I was listening. And I feel like nakuha ni Marie Chris yung pinanood niyang demo ko the previous night. Right? So I use your work paper to actually prepare the return for that entity 2 and 3. So thank you very much, right? And that was one helpful thing I know you got from there because I trust you already. There was already an element of trust because like Marika, she's been doing bookkeeping. She was preparing financial statements for a long time, right? So she know how to categorize, right? And so ang laking tulong nun sa akin yung 2 and 3, and I know at some point also it help you get a little idea how a business tax preparation actually works. And doon pa lang nakita ko my future, right? And so yun lang naman. If you feel like you're missing out a lot, you are, right? If you're not a member, you are missing a lot. There's a lot that we are doing hindi on the public side but on the different channel. The reason why we're doing it in the channel is because, again, primarily, we cannot do it publicly, right? We cannot make it available publicly kasi may mga recording pa yun after. And then at the same time, we're paying for subscriptions, right? So, pag hindi pa kayo member, okay lang yan. It's I don't know. Hintayin namin kayo doon if you feel like you want to. Pag hindi, okay lang naman. No pressure. And before I go, kasi magna-9 na, where are we with the course?
We are I think we're almost done with the last module, and then I think it will finish this week.
Okay, good. Because, di ba initial plan natin magsa-start tayo ng business ng first, which is tomorrow na pala. I didn't realize. Tomorrow na pala is October 1. So, I'm thinking we start with the business tax rep Monday, and we'll do an overview on Sunday, right? The same thing that we did. Notice that when we did the individual, nagpa-overview tayo to what to like set the expectations. When we did the bookkeeping, we also did an overview. We'll do the same for the business because Zara and myself are cooking something to promote the course. Kasi nga, I really would want to reach more audience for the business, especially yung mga practitioners na sa accounting because super bilis na nilang turuan and then mas madali silang maging ready for the tax prep coming next year, which is, di ba, January. January pa lang pwede na mag-prepare ng business tax return. Lalo na yung mga bookkeepers already. Yung may mga existing na silang books, right? If we prepare them now, they can sell that service to their existing clients that, hey, we can take your business tax return preparation for next year, right? So we're launching we're preparing some materials that we will post and promote, and I would really appreciate, guys, if you will spread the word out there, right? So it goes to your network. Like what you did doon sa bookkeeping, I was so amazed. Yung, I know, si Zara ba yun or si Noreen ang nag-create nung ad na yun? It reached about 500 comments and 500 shares. Like, I was so amazed. Like, people are so cooperative, right? And I would hope that we do the same thing for this starting tomorrow. I think tomorrow until Saturday, we're gonna do a lot of promotions. Again, to gather more people doon sa Sunday natin, hopefully na orientation. Kasi alam ko, after nung Sunday, pagdating ng Monday, hindi naman lahat yan magla-live. A lot of them will go replay, which is fine, right? Which is fine. I just want to start with a bang, kumbaga, right? With an official start, so we know how to start. We know when we start. And by the way, today is our 4th anniversary. Didn't you guys realize that? It's been freaking 4 months since we started, right? I remember it very well. That was end of May, right? So June, July, August, September. Wow, you guys are so amazing. Sino dito nandito from the day one? I'm so amazed. I think Melissa was there. Alma was there.
Ako din po.
Yes!
Asuncio was there.
Me
Oh my
too.
God.
Guys, happy
Naghahabol kami lagi.
Grabe.
Guys,
Tagal
happy
na
anniversary.
natin.
Happy
9
4th
years.
monthsary to us. Parang ano na natin to. Parang ewan ko. Naging vision na natin, ano. But I'm looking forward to many years with you guys. We feel like this is gonna be an
I'm so hungry with the late night, pero hindi ko talaga kaya, nakakatulugan ko yung mga
It's okay,
member
guys.
only.
But
Sobrang
here, you guys here for 4 months, that means commitment, right? That means we are so aligned, and I'm so excited for you guys to, go out there and be very ready to take on US clients. And I will move heaven and earth, sabi nga ni Nima. I will move heaven and earth, Chris, for them to get a job, right? And I will do the same thing, guys. I will move heaven and earth for you to be ready to take on a job. You know what I mean? And this is going to be something that this is something that really excites me, right? And just like that, 30 minutes na ako nagsi-speech. I don't know. That's my problem. When I talk, I don't know when to stop. So, Ma'am Shoni, I know you have something to say then sa
May additional na ano pa rin akong ibibigay
Sure.
sa
I would
kanila.
leave you to it kasi nga magpe-prepare ako ng meeting. So just go on, have fun, guys, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully my schedule is better tomorrow kasi tapos na yung deadline. Right, guys, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, Chris.
Pleasure.
Okay. So as Chris
we
said,
resume.
hindi naririnig ba ko? Hindi sa bank recon natatapos yung bookkeeping. So katulad ng pinakita ko sa kanyo, pinakita ko yung GL at saka ano yun, bank registry, reconciled siya sa bank, di ba? Pinakita ko yun sa inyo. And then may additional knowledge pa akong isi-share sa inyo na hindi lang doon nag-e-end yung bookkeeping sa pag-check kung reconcile ba sa GL and reconcile ba siya sa bank registry. So, nakita nyo na ba itong bagong QBO? This is the latest version. Ang kikita ko sa inyo yung bank review. Alam niyo na ba yung bank review? Book review pala, book review. Alam niyo na ba yun? Sino na nakakagamit ng book review?
Di pa po.
Wala pa? Okay, i-share ko sa inyo kung paano gamitin yung book review. So, dito sa new QBO, i-click mo yung accounting. So, naandyan sa accounting yung bank transactions, receipt, reconcile, rules. So, i-click mo yung book review. Yan. So, meron siyang 3 o 4 na tab. So, ito, it is very important during cleaning up of books. And also, yan, every end of the month, check mo kung talagang natapos mo yung bookkeeping. So, i-check, palta natin yung date. Gawin natin siyang December 31. Ay, wala, hindi pala makita. 24 pala. December 2024. Apply. So, we will check if, halimbawa, end of the year. So, sa first tab, makikita ng transaction review. So, makikita nito, wala siyang uncategorized transaction. So, dapat lahat ng transaction categorized. So, wala siyang uncategorized transaction. So, meron siyang transactions without payees. So, gagawin mo, hanapin mo yan, and then lalagyan mo siya ng payees. Okay? And then, meron siyang undeposited funds, wala din. Unapplied payments, wala din. So itong charge of account, hindi na yan gaanong mag-check. Kasi nilalagay naman natin kung yung accounts, kung tayo magkakategorize, nag-add naman tayo ng accounts. So, dito tayo sa second tab, account reconciliation. So, let's check. Sorry, mabagal. Okay. Merong 1, 2, 3. Huwag na natin sama yung cash. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, there is 6 bank accounts and credit card accounts. So, yung itong account na Mulberry Avenue, never reconciled. So, yan makikita nyo. And then, yung Chambers, never reconciled din. Yung Amex, reconciled siya hanggang August 11, 2025. So, ignore na lang tong cash. Yung checking, reconciled siya hanggang August 31. Yung Chase saving, ay reconciled siya, updated dito kasi tayo December 31. December 31, and then lowest credit, never reconciled. So, iyan ang gagawin nyo. Hindi pa kayo tapos sa bookkeeping. Gagawin nyo to. I-reconcile nyo yan. Okay? Antindihan nyo po? Okay po?
Yes
Hello?
po.
Okay po.
Yes po.
Okay.
Yes
So,
po.
next, yung final review. So, tingnan nyo din yung accounts payable. Baka may mga outstanding na ang tagal-tagal na. Hindi nababayaran ni client. And also, accounts receivable na never collected pa, na ang tagal-tagal na rin. So, i-check nyo rin yan. And also, yung balance sheet naman at saka profit and loss, marireview nyo naman yan monthly. Kung may negative or kaya may mga red flag na account, yun, mache-check nyo naman yan. Okay? So, wrap up. So, magpe-prepare kayo ng reports, and then kung mayroong kayong ika-clarify kay clients, yan yun. So, ang mas importante dito ay yung reconciliation at saka yung transaction review. So, yan. Aside from reconciliation, need din ito gawin. Okay? Yun. Isa pa, ito pala, kailangan nasa QBO accountant kayo. Pag hindi kayo, pag QBO lang, hindi nyo makikita kasi for accountant only to. Review ito ng accountant or ng bookkeeper. Yun. Lahat, kahit old version at saka new version, merong book review. Yun. Okay na po. Okay na ako.
Thank you so much
Thank you
po, Miss
po,
Shoni.
Ma'am
Really
Shoni.
appreciate
Okay.
your
Okay.
i-share ko lang yung conversation namin ni Ma'am Shoni. Nag-ask kasi ako kasi alam ko kasi sa kanya na meron siyang direct client to US. Sabi ko, can you help?
Stop ko na
Can
sharing
you,
ha. Stop sharing. Okay.
sabi ko kasi sa kanya, can you help me present the actual reconciliations kasi may existing ka na. And then she really said, yes, of course. That's why I'm very much thankful to you, Ma'am Shoni, for the heads up and for, accepting the challenge every time that we need help from you. And to those who have questions or feel free to message or meron tayong G-sheet G-sheet 'di ba na pinifill up. And if you have some questions and I'll try to review there and hopefully everyone can answer and can contribute also on the answers in it. Kasi 9:02 na so we are quite over time na.
Wait.
So
Hindi ko pa na-open yung ano. Wait.
Ayun sa Knowledge Hub.
sa Knowledge Hub. So if you have more questions and clarifications, you can drop all your questions there, and then we will check what we can do, if we can answer those questions. And thank you so much, Joel, for letting us present on the reconciliations. And you can continue the financials tomorrow. And thank you so much, everyone, for participating tonight. And hopefully to see you all again tomorrow.
Okay po. Thank you for sharing your skills, your knowledge
Thank you.
po. Thank you very much. Good job po sa inyo.
Thank you. And to those who want to stay for a tax review, you can do so. Cherry, do we have tax review tonight?
Meron.
Sino ba lang host? Or we can skip?
Naka-host na yata. Naka-co-host na kami.
Naka-host na kayo. Okay.
Stop recording
Wait
na
lang
tayo
ha.
for
Ino-open ko pa. Kasi nakaano ko eh. Paikot-ikot lang yung ano ko. Hindi pa makapasok.
para sa
Wait
mga
lang,
nandito pa-message naman po dun sa KTL Shoni GC kung sino yung mga naka-member na sa YouTube.
Ayaw nga pala, para
Tsaka
ma-add kayo doon sa GC ng YouTube.
Wait, bago kayo magsabing pa-member,
GC ng YT?
pa-screenshot kung member talaga kayo kasi hindi ko naman masasabi kung member talaga sila eh. Hindi na-view, di ba? Si Chris lang nakaka-view.
Oo.
Kasi merong mga hindi ma-reach sila Kelly na baka nasa GC
Member.
natin, mga TL na member na pala ng YouTube.
Please, message kayo doon sa group niyo na member kayo para ma-add kayo ni Kelly.
Proof na member kayo Baka mamaya hindi naman pala member.
Pero doon, EOP. The EOP room.
English only. English only or $1.1.
Or remain silent. Be a member of my club. Remaining silent.
May nag-reply pa doon, I invoke my right.